Uh-oh. Because I haven't had any water in over 8 weeks, I'm starting to hallucinate. Get this. Gary is now a puma named Mary. Far out!
Hello and welcome to the Kongversation. I'm Hyle Russell.
And I'm Nick Prol. You will all tremble before my mouth.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It's me, Nick Prol. What's up?
That's good. That's good. Well, what is up, Nick? This week on the Kongversation, which is a podcast we do, I believe we're going to be discussing things about video games and whatnot.
You don't say.
I do say. But before we get to the news of the day that we will then spin into possibly 90 minutes worth of rambling, let's get to some due diligence. Support DK Vine on Patreon at dkvine.com/Patreon. You'll get rewards like stickers and bumper stickers and listening to this, but live. Oh,
wait,
boy.
You get a sticker of my favorite Diddy Kong Racing character, Bumper?
Let me amend that statement. Our bumper sticker has no relation to beloved Diddy Kong Racing character and serial public masturbator Bumper the Badger.
Oh.
No.
Well, I guess that's fine.
No, we probably at some point will offer a second bumper sticker that pays some sort of tribute to Bumper. Thing is, that would be a really obscure joke, and while that's fine for things like making jokes on social media or on the forum or on our podcast, it's kind of different when you're trying to offer rewards that the largest sum of people actually want. So,
we gave out a sticker of Mr. Pants.
We have not given out a sticker of Mr. Pants.
We haven't?
No, we have not.
What was the first batch?
The first batch was was Diddle, and
yes.
there was Bear and Bird, and then there was Concours versus Bad Nut.
Okay, I'm misremembering then, I guess. But this time we have Black Eye. He's pretty obscure.
No, we have Nice Sailor Bloke, who is legally
my mistake.
From the famed pirate captain known as Black Eye.
I think the whole concept is pretty obscure as is, so I think a bumper we could get away with.
Right, but as far as I wanted to offer the DK Vine logo first, because that's not obscure at all.
No, that's household.
Anyway, speaking of DK Vine, check out dkvine.com. We've now been fully operational for 5 weeks without any mishaps.
Yay!
dkvine.com. And while you're there, check out the DK Vine forum. I have a feeling that starting this week, there's never been a better time to join.
Literally.
Yeah, we've got a new moderator in town. We this DK Vine staff, which includes currently me, Chad, you, Matt Corna, Cameron Regal, and David Lynch, who was the former forum moderator. We have all relinquished administrative...
How does he find the time, or how did he find the time to moderate and work on that new Showtime show? I mean...
Right. Yeah, I know. It's a mystery that you would, he's good at crafting mysteries, so why not create one about his work schedule?
I have a theory that Sir Slush is Mark Frost, but I could be wrong.
Anyway, we've all relinquished forum admin powers, and we are no longer moderators on the DK Vine forum because we wanted to bring in a fresh face who could properly deal out punishments. And so with that, we now have
slaps on the wrist at first.
Well, there's gonna be lots of slaps on the wrist because with a guy or gal, we don't really know the gender yet, of Iron Fist.
Why has it got to be one of those two, Hyle?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I that is very heteronormal of me.
Jesus Christ,
gendered, privileged. I'm sorry. I
wake up.
I know. I'm clearly not woke yet. I'm sorry.
Not quite.
And apologies to Iron Fist, whomever you are. If you do decide to call yourself a whomever, you might be you might identify as an inanimate object for all we know. So
I wasn't there for the job interview, but I heard they wore an eyeball mask like to conceal their identity. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's going to be some good times to be had with Iron Fist in charge, and I feel like the forum is finally going to be whipped into shape or slapped into shape if that's the case. So, yeah, check out the DK Vine forum, and it's a kinder, gentler place to be, in theory, starting right now.
If you don't get the gist, you get the fist.
That's right. I would like that on a bumper sticker, honestly.
Yeah, talk about out of context.
Yeah, you might be
not something you could drive up to the old Sunday school to pick up your daughter with.
You might be soliciting all sorts of hitchhikers with that one.
Yo, man, I saw your bumper sticker. You down? No. What are you talking about?
No, I just believe in firm Donkey Kong forum moderation. What are you talking about, sir? Oh my God!
Oh, you're into that shit? Gay, queer. You were propositioning me for a fisting, sir? How is that not queer?
We get the joke, Nick. You can move on from the premise.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. It's fine. It just becomes less funny the more you belabor it. In my
just
opinion.
wanted to paint a picture.
No, I appreciate you're quite the skilled artist. It's a portrait that would hang in any quality motel.
I still don't feel it was properly illustrated. You see, the guy, he thought it was queer, that he used the derogatory term queer, right, which has now been taken back, apparently.
Well, but we ourselves probably can't use it. No.
Yeah, of course not. But this trucker can, because he's a bigot. And see, he was hateful towards me for being into a Donkey Kong forum, when in fact he was the one that was just offering a penetrative fist act. So, see, the humor there is it kind of turns it on its head in the third act.
I'm glad. And we all learn a lesson in the end and learn something about ourselves, too.
Knowing is half the battle.
It is. G.I. Joe. So anyway, what else? Yeah, the DK Vine forum. That's great. In theory, now it is. We've also got our YouTube channel, dkvine.com/YouTube.
And check us out on Vine. Going strong.
Yeah. You know what? The day Vine closed, or they announced it was closing, was a very happy day for me, because I feel like Vine came in existence and kind of stole our thunder, because Vine was our word. It was a word only we could use. And then they come along, and that's the Vine that, the internet knows. And
this town ain't big enough for the both of us.
When I went to Rare last May, they actually sent a driver for me and some of the others picked us up at Heathrow, and the driver.
Aren't you fancy?
Well, no, this is going somewhere.
Really painting a picture there. All you had to do was say, I got a driver one time. You don't have to say from Rare at Heathrow.
I'm not humble bragging. There's a point to this. So the driver asked me what I did to warrant an invitation from Rare, and I said, I run DK Vine, and he was like, is that like the Vine thing with the short?
Is that queer shit?
Yeah, and then he fisted me. Which, to be fair, was a lovely, gentle fisting, and
it was a nice gesture.
We spooned afterwards.
Yeah. The spooning was more violent.
So, yeah, that was just like, my moment of glory, and it's been taken from me by goddamn Vine. So I'm happy Vine's dead. DK Vine not only predates Vine, but we've outlived Vine. We are now the one true Vine.
You might be basking in the sun of glory because now Vine's gone. You can have your little DK Vine, but my fan site that I still run, where we all talk about our favorite Pokemon game, Pokemon Snap, called Pokemon Snapchat, is still under fire.
Well, Nick, I hope you will have your victory soon, because it is like Highlander. There can only be one. And then it's like Highlander 2, where we find out we're aliens.
Yeah, let's skip the sequel.
Yeah. All right. And then Highlander 3, which is a soft reboot, which ignores Highlander 2, but still ties into the plot of Highlander 1. Even though it's called Highlander 3, they really were terrible.
I think they should have, when it came to sequels to Highlander, they probably should have stuck with their tagline's advice.
Yeah, right. But
can
then there
be-
was Highlander the series, and then that ignored both Highlanders 2 and 3.
You know, it's just not funny when you explain it.
It relates to jokes about fisting and references to the beloved Highlander franchise. You're right.
In which Sean Connery plays a Spaniard.
Yeah.
I'm Spanish, goddammit.
I can't believe Sean Connery actually retired after A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. What a shitty
Wasn't
way
his
to go.
technical last movie this awfully animated Scottish film? Where he plays a guy that looks like Saberman?
Oh, you're right. But his last
so
live action
embarrassing.
films, you're right. But
Jack Nicholson's coming back.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Where's Gene Hackman when you need him?
Was Gene Hackman's last movie Welcome to Mooseport?
I think it was.
And why
yes.
do I know these things? It's not like
Because
I've seen these movies.
whenever someone's last movie is something so embarrassing, you got to remember that shit.
That's right. Well, my last TV show was technically Elvis and Slickmoney, so that's quite a mark of shame for me.
Hey, it won an Emmy.
It won an Emmy. That's right.
Misspelled Emmy, but an Emmy.
Hey, they fixed it. They did fix my Emmy. So
nice.
All right. Yeah. So it's nice. I mean,
actually, did not know that. That's pretty cool.
Sure, they initially gave it to La La Land, which was really weird because it was 11 years or 10 years beforehand. But
no, they gave it to that Clue Land fan site, La La Land.
Oh yeah.
What a shame. We were the moonlight of our time back then, even though I wasn't involved, but I just used the term we.
The royal we, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So due diligence.
Due diligence. It's going great, isn't it?
Yeah. It's been a while.
We've got Facebook too. I run that. Facebook.com/DKVine. Or if you're feeling frisky, DKVine.com/Facebook. You can change it up. Do whatever you want to do. You can get there a couple different ways. Anyway.
Keep life interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, daily updates on that Facebook page. I think I've not gone a single day since mid 2013 or early to mid 2013. Yeah, I've had a daily Facebook update. Rain or shine, holidays, funerals.
That is crazy.
Matter. Yeah.
Did you actually have to do one ever on a funeral?
Not
to bring up a sore subject, but
trying to think. When did my grandmother die?
I mean, the funeral for your dignity doesn't count.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember my grandmother died early 2013, I think.
I'm sorry about that.
We still got a conversation out that week, though. So
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we recorded
Not
it.
going to make a Wrinkly Kong joke. Not going to make a Wrinkly Kong
recorded it at the funeral home, too. So.
Oh, no. So tasteless.
Yeah. I was like.
Good acoustics, though.
Attention, everybody. I want to say a few words. And then I whipped out a microphone, and 90 minutes later, I was Anyway. Yeah. So, DK Vine, we're all over the place. If you want to call the Kongversation, then call 1-281-410 and a word. That word is Kong, and that number is 5664.
Do you think with the upcoming Kong movie, do you think there'll be lots of more Google searches and lots of more DK Vine hits?
So you're saying we should tie into the new King Kong movie by...
We should make a podcast somehow relating to it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we can trick people into coming to our den of sin instead. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out something. All right.
Kong Skullfuck Island.
Why did you do the Scraps laugh?
I just do that when I say something that's obviously not funny.
Yeah, and what is with you about shoving things in different orifices tonight? It's just...
I don't know.
I know. You've probably got spring fever. It's almost spring, and I know,
No springs.
Lust fills a young man's heart come this time of year, and you're just full of romance and unlubricated body appendages. So I won't get in your way, but
don't skull block me.
So anyway, that's the DK Vine hotline. Save us from ourselves. Subscribe to the Kongversation for some reason on iTunes and rate us on iTunes. but maybe not based on the last 15 minutes. Tell your friends about the show.
Or based on it. Hell, be honest.
Just own it. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Tell your friends about the show if they're that trucker. And also, don't forget to hashtag bring back the spiders. It's the only way we can combat the attacks on our media.
Hashtag eight-legged freaks. Hashtag David Arquette.
Hashtag Carrie Woor. She was in that movie.
I don't know who that is, actually.
She was on
Sorry,
that
Carrie.
MTV show. I think it was Remote Control or something. And then she was on Slider. She was on the last half of the series.
Oh,
Sliders.
that's that show with John Rhys Davies where he makes little hamburgers for his whole family.
Yeah. Well, she replaced
Sliders for everyone.
She replaced John Rhys Davies on the show.
Oh, I hate her already.
Because even though he had bigger breasts, the network still wanted that late 90s jiggly sex appeal. So,
And the main character had bigger breasts when he was a kid.
when he was a kid, yeah. But luckily his friends stood by him, and he eventually lost the weight.
Well, I think Carrie War is a Carrie whore. That's just what I'm saying.
That rhymes. That's good. You've been to rhymezone.com.
Is that a site?
It is.
Oh, wow.
You don't need any
Is that like
rhyming-
where all the rappers go?
I assume that's where like most 21st century rappers go. They used to have to get rhyming dictionaries, but now they've got rhymezone.com.
It's probably where Justin Bieber goes because he's not legit. He's like, bring up Rhyme Zone, yo.
As he's peeing in a bucket,
Yeah.
cursing out Bill Clinton. That's a thing that happened, right? Yeah.
Bill Clinton? I forgot about that aspect.
Yeah. It's weird.
Huh.
Hey, baby, let's get to the show. All right, thanks. So
You think they'd have a lot in common given like he has a song called Baby.
the fact that you even know that much about Justin Bieber's discography frightens me.
Yeah, I'm such a freak. I have access to a car with a radio button.
Yeah. See, I get satellite radio, so I keep it.
Oh, you take it seriously, huh?
Yeah, I do. I only listen to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
On a loop with your Howard Stern on the side.
He has a Sirius XM channel called Margaritaville.
Doesn't he like DJ it and choose stuff, or no?
He
too
doesn't.
busy
No,
for that?
he just does the bumpers, not the Badger. He doesn't like have.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't fist the Badger from Diddy Kong Racing. Although that might be something that the Badger from Diddy Kong Racing is into, knowing what he went to jail for.
Yeah.
But
Wasn't Fish the Badger, for Christ's sake? Wasn't that some Sean Connery meme in the early 2000s?
was that a "You're the Man Now" dog thing, or?
Could have been.
All right.
Could have been.
Well, anyway.
But yeah, Sirius Radio, good stuff. Make sure you get that. We also have a show on that, so make sure you subscribe.
Yeah.
Sirius FM.
Yeah, comes on every week on Friday nights at 2:47 a.m. on Deep Tracks. Check us out. We go through the best of Baroque pop from the late 1960s to the early 1970s.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, it's great. We haven't been pulled from the air yet, but luckily we had the conversation to get all the discussions we want about fist fucking out of our system, and then we can go and do a nice PG show on Deep Tracks.
Not unlike fist fucking, this really helps you clear out your system.
Yeah. It's. I would imagine anal fist penetration, and I'm just
Spitballing here, no
here.
pun intended.
You know how doctors tell you not to use a Q-tip in your ears, even though it feels so good? And because they say you're just jamming the earwax into your ear canal and compacting it. I imagine fist intercourse is much the same way.
Fistercourse?
Fistercourse, yeah. I imagine it's much akin to the Q-tip. Feels great.
I wouldn't know.
But you're going to
I wouldn't
regret
know.
it later.
I want to know, but I wouldn't know.
I want to know now, actually, because I love.
Can you show me?
I'm not going to show you personally, but I love putting Q-tips in my ear.
Can you show me?
YouTube has just pulled us for copyright violations. Thank you.
Oh.
So
For singing it, you can get in trouble?
yeah, because that's
wow.
a public performance of that song.
So just alter the pitch a little bit in editing. It's like, I wanna know, can you sing?
I'll have to do that now. Thank you for making my editing job even more complicated, Nick. I like how whenever I do the show with somebody says, "Hey, Hyle, drop this in right now," because not only do I have to do that, but even if I want to ignore that, I still have to edit out that reference that person just made.
Right now, right when I go now, which is now, I want you to go back, cut up things I've said, and make me say something embarrassing I didn't mean to say. I want bigger breasts.
Oh, fuck you, Nick! Fuck you!
All right.
And
Onto
the scraps
show.
laughed. Great. Okay. So let's talk about all of the news that's free to print, spoiler free, that is. So we've got Yooka-Laylee coming out in 5 weeks now? I mean, it's creeping up. Yeah. It'll be here before we know it. We've also got Sea of Thieves, which, while it doesn't have a release date, it's in its full pre-release swing with its NDA-enforced technical alphas. So we haven't really discussed Sea of Thieves too much since the news came down that they were starting the technical alphas, because a lot of it has been behind this curtain of privacy. Yeah. And we won't be discussing spoilers or anything that's NDA-enforced for Sea of Thieves, nor will we be discussing too much in the way of spoilers for Yooka-Laylee. So we're not going to get...
not that we know any, really.
We're not going to get potentially litigious on this episode. But we will discuss officially released news from both Playtonic and Rare on both of their games. So
now it's not DKU, but some listeners might be curious. Since the last one, the Switch and Zelda has come out. Have you had an experience with either yourself, or?
I have not. No.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, I'm actually.
So let's move on. I'm just kidding.
I've actually got a Plan B for a Switch
birth
episode.
control. Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
I pop them like Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minty fresh.
I'm just attracted to beautiful. You know, I can't help myself. Just pop the Plan B in their mouths. So anyway,
wow.
Yeah, I've got an idea for the Switch episode that will allow us to discuss the Switch even if we don't have the Switch. So stay tuned for that in coming weeks. Yeah. So anyway, we will discuss the Switch more in depth, obviously.
Yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there for those that think we're avoiding it or something.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. This is the Kongversation, and there's no Kong-related games on the Switch yet. Nothing Donkey Kong Universe is on the Switch yet. So,
but it is a big game event, and Nintendo's something we're tied to. I just thought I'd touch on it, I guess.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing up that elephant in the room. But thankfully, I have not bought a Switch yet because it sounds like there's an issue with the left Joy-Cons where they desync from your system, and apparently the reason behind it is they put one less wire in the Joy-Con controller than is in the right one, and that causes these issues. And there are videos online where you can fix it by doing it yourself, putting another wire in there, but that would void your warranty. So just a point of advice for anybody out there, I would probably recommend until Nintendo fixes the problem themselves, because a fix will be coming, and they will probably be sending out new Joy-Cons.
According to my Uncle Riff, who works for Nintendo, don't tell anybody, this is also NDA, but there's another elephant in the room when it comes to the Switch, because Diddy Kong Racing, motherfucker. Taj, it's coming. That's what I heard.
We all know it's coming, because we all #believe in Kevin Callahan.
Yeah. No, this is not Kevin's mouth, but it's Riff's. But Riff. I think Riff knows Kevin, so we'll figure it out.
Your Uncle Riff, who works for Nintendo. Sure, I mean, you know, I have an Uncle Griff who also works for Nintendo. I mean, it's...
No way.
It's pretty much the most common jobs for uncles to have, is working for Nintendo.
Wonder if they hang out.
Yeah, well, people were wondering who our source was. Dave Throat, who gave us the news that David Wise is composing a track for Yooka-Laylee. Now, I'm not saying it's my Uncle Griff. I'm not saying that.
You're saying it's your Uncle Dave.
My Uncle Dave Throat. No.
Yeah.
By the way, I am curious, though. We've got E3 coming up. We know Retro is working on something. We know Dave Wise is purportedly working on something. So...
What if that was just Snake Pass that he was talking about?
No, because Snake Pass is multi-platform, so
Sure.
we will see. I think there's going to be a lot more exciting DKU-related news for the Switch, hopefully coming up at the mid-year point. But
Never know.
Until now, I want to try Breath of the Wild, but I'm going to have to wait, and going to have to wait for those repaired Joy-Cons to hit the market. So
We got New Dunk City Secrets coming up, too.
yeah, at the end of the year. Good Lord. Anyway, but 5 weeks from now, Yooka-Laylee's coming out, so we got to start with Yooka.
That's what we got to talk about.
So, first of all, since we just brought up the Switch, it is worthwhile to mention that even though it was a point of laughter for us at just how failed the Wii U actually was, Playtonic has somewhat rectified the situation by announcing...
Engage.
They've done that by announcing that a Nintendo Switch version of the game is coming, and it's coming in 2017, even though no firm release date has been announced. So,
and the people who paid for the Wii U version will get it for free, or
they can now the time to do this is already passed, but they did offer backers the chance to wait for the Switch version. For the people who went for the Wii U version, they could go in for the Switch version and wait, or they could go for the Xbox One or PS4 editions. And I went with the
so those
Xbox
who didn't
One.
have one of those are screwed, I guess.
Well, I mean, they've got to wait, yeah. But I luckily went in with the Xbox One, and I don't regret it. And the toy box is available now on the Xbox One, too. So,
if when Yooka comes out, I don't have a Switch, which I probably won't, what should I get it on? Xbox, do you think, since that's sort of the Rare system? Or is Playtonic such a Nintendo throwback that it's worth playing it on? Or does it really not matter because they'll be identical?
I think they're going to be basically identical. I mean, it depends. Do you have a PlayStation?
Yeah, I have a PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, I'm getting Xbox One, so I would naturally say, support the Xbox. St. Phil Spencer. But it might be interesting for you to get the PS4 version and me get the Xbox One version, and we could compare notes.
Yeah, I may be the only staffer with a PS4. I'm not sure about that, but
I know Chad has one, but
yeah,
I don't know. We would that'd be interesting. I have to get a PS4 eventually because I do want Yooka for the PS4 and all of Playtonic's future games for the PS4.
Yeah.
I've already said I'm going to get them for every system they're available on because I have issues.
But that doesn't mean you necessarily have to buy the system too.
Yeah, because I'm
you could just have the system to play the main version you want, and then buy the other versions just for collector.
I'm gonna beat them all, Nick. I'm gonna beat them on every system.
Wow.
Yeah. So in 2074, be on the lookout for the Slush Fund Yooka-Laylee (parentheses PS4).
Wow.
Yeah, my therapy never really paid off. Apparently.
Who needs it when you have multiple versions of the same game?
Yeah. So anyway, it's exciting for Nintendo fans, I guess. I mean, they have to wait, but at least they know it's coming this year, and it's not going to be something like all those instances of a game that's huge and then comes out multiple years later for a Nintendo system, like, say, Skyrim.
I will destroy you with my fist.
Sorry, the demon came back for a second.
No. Do we need to send in a priest or anything?
No, that might make it worse, actually.
Yeah, I can't afford a priest. I might have to send in Jared from Subway. He engages in priestly activities, but there's none of the positive ones.
Wow, that's some low-hanging 6-inch subs there.
$5 footlongs, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Glitter Glaze Glacier. I should have done that in my John Lovitz voice. Can you do a John Lovitz voice?
Glitter Glaze Glacier.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Glitter Glaze Glacier is the confirmed name for the second world, which is the snow world, which is blatantly based on Disney's Frozen.
It stinks.
No, I think this looks great.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
This looks unlike any snow world we've ever seen in a Rare game. It's more fantasy. It's more kind of fairy tale-esque.
Yeah.
Whereas before, all the snow worlds were either kind
holiday or
What's that?
like holiday themed, like Freezeezy.
Well, holiday themed or frozen wasteland or just like snowed over villages or snowy forest, in the case of Donkey Kong Country. So this is a lot more magical. And granted, I mean, the premise of the game is we've got these storybooks, these tomes that you go inside, and that's where the worlds are. So it makes sense that we would get slightly more fantastical environments.
Sure. Maybe they'll even have a few Frozen jokes in there.
I wouldn't put it past them. But they do make a lot of references, it seems, to their past glories because Playtonic released a trailer for this on their YouTube channel, and this was a couple weeks ago, and watching it all, it became apparent that there are multiple places in the world where there are locks. Giant.
What's the name of the level? Glacier Glaze Glitter.
Glitter Glaze Glacier.
That sounds kind of like Glitter Gulch. Mine a little bit.
Sounds a little bit like a gay bar. just a bit. Which, if Playtonic is smart, they will franchise those out.
Hell yeah, for all those truckers.
I mean, who wouldn't want a little glitter glaze all over their glacier?
Were there any actual glaciers in Gorilla Glacier?
No. I mean,
no.
Glaciers are usually on the water, are they not?
Yeah, yeah.
This was Gorilla Glacier was actually up high on an island, so no, it wasn't an actual glacier. But it doesn't matter.
So it's kind of a mixture of Glitter Gulch, Glitter Gulch Mine, and Gorilla Glacier. If you combine them,
sure. Glitter Glaze
with some
Glacier,
glazing.
Glitter Glaze Glacier, Glitter Glaze Glacier.
All that glitters is glaze.
Glenn grabs.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Trying to do a tongue twister here. What would Glenn grab? Glenn would grab.
Glenn grabs the glittery glacier's glazy globes of globular goo.
Glenn grabs gonads in the Glitter Glaze Glacier.
We are so mature.
We are the most mature.
Now, I will point out, I know we haven't really gone into
the age of
specifics
Jesus.
yet. Oh, wow. R.I.P.
Pour one out for my homie.
There is a giant keyhole in this level, from what I see in this trailer.
That's what I was trying to say before we started talking about cum.
Sorry, yes. It's just... There's a keyhole, and it's a frozen ice keyhole.
Well, okay, so you've seen the trailer too, right?
Oh, I'm watching it for the first time right now.
Oh, well, I'm glad you come prepared.
Yeah, exactly. I do my homework.
Yeah, so you approach... There are numerous keyholes, but in the trailer, you approach one on a door, and it's a giant keyhole. And what should appear to unlock it in your inventory but a giant ice key?
Wow. Okay. They get it.
So, well, I mean, they made it. I mean, this is Chris Sutherland, motherfuckers. I mean...
Chris who?
Chris Sutherland.
Chris who? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. I was like, yeah, he, one of the key talents behind Banjo-Kazooie. And...
He's amazing.
Which, I know Playtonic is standing firm on their whole, well, we're building our own shared universe, but clearly they are building small lifelines to the Donkey Kong universe, the Rare shared universe, because we do know we have this unnamed goldfish in the game, Royston, and we also
it could be a different goldfish, of course, but...
Well, legally, they're not saying one way or another, but... Wink.
I mean, they could certainly say it's not Royston.
They could, but we also have the out then that there are also the DK rappers, or at least one of the DK rappers in the game.
Which is absurd, but I mean, that's the nature of the site, so it's fine.
Yeah, it is our, in case of continuity emergency, break glass here.
I mean, I guess my question would be like, why... how do we benefit from it being DKU, I guess? Just so we can discuss it on the forum? That's it?
And just the comforting safety blanket that it takes place somewhere in the same shared universe as all the rest. It takes place somewhere in the Rare Archipelago.
But it wouldn't also be cool if it was its own universe?
It wouldn't be as cool, Nick. Come on.
I mean, I'm all for the DKU, obviously, but there's room for multiple universes.
There are room for multiple universes. I fully agree. But I think it's also... It would be cool if there was still that connection between where this all started. And then
I agree.
It's just in its own corner of it where you can build up your own characters that are reoccurring. And it doesn't really have too many connections to what came before. But
the references like the ice key and stuff would be kind of weird, though, if it was the same universe. Because then it's like... Oh, is this the ice key from Banjo-Kazooie, or is this a different ice key?
Or maybe there are multiple ice keys, Nick. Maybe
there's multiple goldfish.
We never really explained... Well, no, there's only one goldfish in the entire universe, Nick.
I forgot.
Except that second goldfish in Banjo-Tooie that got blown up.
Of course.
Royston Berry. But, come on now. No,
just playing... Capital B's advocate here, I guess.
You're playing devil's advocate because you've clearly got a demon inside of you right now, and I don't quite enjoy it. Don't enjoy this.
That wasn't the demon, that was just some phlegm.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. It's what you get.
It's what you get, yeah. So anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah. The ice key, the thing is, we never really learned where the ice key came from. It didn't have an origin story, so maybe... This is just one of the many maybe the one from Banjo-Kazooie was just one of the many ice keys forged in Glitter Glaze Glacier.
Sure. Plus, it is just a storybook, so...
Yeah, but...
Banjo could be like, this is the real ice key, that's an ice key in a book.
The thing is, I think you can pull things out of these storybooks into the real world, so... I think it's like those the holodeck episodes of Star Trek where...
sorry, go ahead.
You wanted to say something about Star Trek and the holodeck.
No, actually, something before that inspired an idea, but then you started that and I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, no. It's just like those episodes where the holodeck malfunctions and things can manifest themselves outside the holodeck. It doesn't really...
Kind of like the Danger Room?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Well... I was thinking, you know how Banjo-Kazooie's all fairy tale-like, kind of. I mean, very much so, like a storybook. What if it turns out the last storybook they open it up, it's Banjo-Kazooie? That's how they're connected. Banjo-Kazooie's world is a storybook in Yuka's world.
And then you just play the entirety of Banjo-Kazooie as
for the last level. Yeah. And then it zooms out after you beat Grunty, and it's just Yuka standing there reading the book.
Turns out Playtonic was actually Rare the whole time.
But it's a legitimate possibility. They could hint at it. They could have a book on the shelf with like a drawing of the banjo on the front.
Yeah, the thing is, I want to be perfectly respectful towards Playtonic and acknowledge the Playtonic world, the Playtonic shared universe, is its own thing. But
by making it DKU?
No. Like I'm going to acknowledge that. Yeah, it's separate. It's distant. But we are DK Vine. We're DK Vine, Nick. So we're gonna find that there's small connections and say,
if we cover Tracky Train, we better cover Yooka-Laylee.
Granted. The Yooka-Laylee is never gonna reach the stature of Tracky Train. It just can't.
You'll never hear me saying, "What the fuck is Yooka-Laylee?" I mean, come on.
No. I mean, Tracky Train, all the kids are talking about it. It's taken the world by storm. There's a reason people don't play Pokemon Go anymore, even though they added all those new Pokemon. It's because Tracky Train is taking up.
You see those teenagers, they write the codes on themselves, like to remember for later. They call it track marks on their arms.
Yeah,
and,
I know.
It's becoming an epidemic. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
I don't know. So, if anybody from Playtonic's listening to this, I'm not trying to shoehorn your hard work into my own ridiculous head.
But that goldfish you made, that is not your goldfish. But other than that,
I mean, look, Ed Bryan put a goldfish in Goldilocks and Little Bear, and look what happened. I mean, I'm
just saying, there's always the possibility that it definitely is supposed to be Royston as a reference, but might not literally be Royston. That's all.
Okay, but we still have the DK wrapper then. So, and that wasn't my idea. That was Chad's, the ultimate pragmatic one on the site. So, look, this isn't me being absurd. Okay.
Stop yelling, Dad.
So yeah, I think in my own canon, I'm gonna view Playtonic's shared world as part of the Rare archipelago, but like far away enough.
I think it could be awesome if it's DKU. I guess I can't. I would be cool with it either way, I guess. So I'm just
I'm going to be cool with it either way, but this way it allows us to fully incorporate it with the rest of the site and what we do and what we cover.
Yeah, I would like to do some podcasts on this game. It looks fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to be doing podcasts about it regardless, but...
Even if it wasn't DKU, like if they came out and said, guess what, DK Vine? It's not DKU. We would still do a podcast on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh. So that...
Well, we do have the honorary mention series on the show, and besides, it is...
That's true.
We'd be fundamentally bad fans if we didn't cover Yooka-Laylee at all, even though...
Of course.
It would be like all those other spiritual revivals that, are being done when creators leave their original studio. So...
have any of those panned out, by the way? Out of curiosity.
I mean, you would know more than I would. I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to things. I
just know the Mega Man one was an utter disaster. There's a Castlevania one coming, but I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. Miyamoto is making one for Mario because,
Is he really?
Nintendo. Yeah, he left Nintendo. You didn't hear about that?
When did that happen?
About...
Oh, you're pulling my dick.
minutes ago. Am I pulling your leg? This is why you come prepared, Nick.
It was not 15 minutes ago. You doing the scraps laugh there?
No, that was just my maniacal laugh.
Okay.
I just like confusing people.
Your maniacal laugh.
I love to see the tear in your face, or hearing the tear in your face when you actually believed Miyamoto had left Nintendo.
I don't know if I call it terror so much as mild confusion.
Nick,
wouldn't really care that much.
If Miyamoto had left Nintendo, that would be what the episode was about tonight.
Good point.
The Ghost Riders, writers, not writers. They're not fornicating
not Nicolas Cage.
The undead. Yeah, they all.
I'm
have
more of
names.
a treasure protector guy.
The Ghost Riders all have names, so they're not just nameless nobodies called the Ghost Riders.
That I like.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that even Rare didn't really commit to with the Jinjos back in the day. The Jinjos, unless they were very specific Jinjos, the ones you collected were all just Jinjos. So
it's kind of racist, if you ask me.
A little bit, yeah, especially when they refer to them as like green Jinjos, gray Jinjos, orange Jinjos.
Weren't the black Jinjos dead, or was that the gray ones?
I think it was the gray ones, yeah.
Yeah, poor gray Jinjos.
Yeah. Actually, they do appear, I believe, in Grunny's Revenge.
Oh,
which takes place, 20 years before Banjo-Kazooie.
It's like the Days of Future Past of the series.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Which would make Nuts and Bolts the Logan?
I think so. Except one is hailed as a unanimous success, and the other has JonTron videos about it. I'm referring, of course, to JonTron's newest Logan video.
Right. Yeah.
Here, wait, let me explain that joke. You see, you thought I was referring to Nuts and Bolts, but you see, actually, the trucker with... Just kidding.
The trucker fist JonTron. And then ketchup spurts out of his butt.
Wait, why ketchup?
Moving on. So we know the following about the Ghost Riders' names. So we've got 3 of them so far.
Johnny Blaze.
What?
Johnny Blaze. Do you remember that old show, Ghost Rider?
I remember it, but I never watched it.
It's like a bunch of kids. It was like about reading, and they had this little light that flew around, and it was like made little bell noises.
Right. No, I remember the show. I remember...
No, let me further explain it for you. No, I'm just kidding.
I remember it being on PBS when I was in elementary school, but I
don't remember much about it. No. Yeah, weird idea. But yeah, what are their names, Hyle?
Okay, so the light blue ghost writer is named Heidi. And I this is, I think, the first one they announced. So
are they named after books, famous books?
Well, that's what I thought. I thought at first this was going to be a literary allusion to the Swiss children's novel, and I thought that all of them would have like names based on classic literature.
Oh wait,
like
I bet it's because she plays the hide and seek one with you, isn't it?
Yeah. So see, I thought we were going to get characters like Mein Kampf and the Satanic Bible, classic
Kama
books.
Sutra-y.
Right. But no, you're right. It's because this particular ghostwriter is the one that hides. She flickers in and out, and the only way you can actually find her to catch her is to use the Laylee sonar attack on her. So
Cool.
yeah. And apparently she also, like, there will be moments where you can't see her, but you'll hear her, like, laughter or giggling or something.
Creepy.
And then that will be a clue that she's somewhere near where you're standing. So
Did you ever play Psychonauts?
I don't think so, no.
As a 3D platformer fan, it's something I think you would enjoy. They had something in that called the emotional baggage, because you went into people's brains and those are the levels. So like they had these little glowing. For some reason, I always think of that when I think of the Ghost Riders. They're different. Maybe someone smarter than me can explain why I think of that. But anyway, you haven't played it, so it's not really worth discussing.
Story of my life. The yellow Ghost Rider is essentially a standard Jinjo. He remains idle and waits for Yooka-Laylee to collect him, waving his arms in the air like he just doesn't care. And his name is Norm!
Norm?
Norm.
Like
as
McDonald's?
No.
Hey, it's great that I'm in this game. That's bad, Norm.
It was a better Norm than I can do. No, he's named Norm because he is just completely stationary, and he is just the most basic Ghost Rider.
Is it just me, or is that his finger up that dog's ass? You ever seen Dirty Work? Great film.
I saw Dirty Work once on basic cable, so I think
It's actually pretty funny at times.
I know it bombed, but
yeah,
I think,
bad.
Yeah, but I
directed by Bob Saget.
I remember it was amusing when I saw it. Granted, I saw it when I was a teenager, so I'm sure.
I mean, it's no better than any of those crappy like Adam Sandler movies at the time, but it's just that it's slightly better, I guess.
Yeah, it killed Norm Macdonald's Hollywood career, though, or his
and
movie
literally
career.
Killed Chris Farley.
Oh yeah.
It was his last film.
No, I think.
No, he was the funniest part in it.
I think cocaine killed Chris Farley.
Oh yeah, I thought it was the Saigon whore that bit his nose off, which is an actual plot in that movie.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the Saigon whore that bit my nose off.
I just remember there was a bearded woman in it, which probably wouldn't fly today. And Norm Macdonald always said, "Note to self."
Note to self. Stop saying note to self.
Anyway, I thought Norm would be a reference to the classic Cheers character. And
you know, I've never seen Cheers. Isn't that weird?
You've never seen Cheers. Wow.
I mean, just odd reruns every now and then.
Yeah. No,
I guess that counts as seeing it.
I thought it was going to be like the ghost of Norm from Cheers, and
Who played
died.
Norm? Ratzenberger?
No, George Wendt played Norm.
Oh, wasn't he in one of the Dune movies as like a Harkonnen or something?
I don't know. John Ratzenberger was in Empire Strikes Back, though.
Was he really? Who'd he play?
He played one of the faceless
Imperial
rebels
guys?
or nameless rebels in Echo Base at the beginning of the movie.
That's Ratzenberger makes it a winner.
Yeah, and that was before he got roles in all of Pixar's movies.
Yeah. Now I'm sick of the bastard.
Anyway, it's a shame that it wasn't Norm from Cheers, because that would mean he died of liver failure eventually.
Why would that mean that's how he died?
Because he was an alcoholic, because the show was set in a bar, and he was...
Never jump to assumptions, Hyle.
Have you at least seen Frasier?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, is there a connection of some kind?
You know, people say there are, but I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, me neither.
I assume it's because of the goldfish.
I think so.
I don't know. Yeah.
For God's sakes, Niles.
There is the Ghost Rider with the worst name, Evadie.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
No, Evadie is the green and elongated Ghost Rider who kind of looks like one of the ghosts from that cat.
It's a Seinfeld reference, speaking of sitcoms.
Is it?
Very, very, very bad.
So Evadie sounds like he's going to be a pain in the ass in that he runs around the world. He sees you and he runs from you. So he forces you to come up with a strategy to get him to give chase in the wrong direction just long enough so you can.
It's like those little guys in Spyro. Those are annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So terrible name and probably headache inducing. So here's
so far,
Evadie.
worst thing about this game. Hope he rots in hell.
Well, he's already dead, so I'm sure you just have to capture him. I'm sure they all go to hell at the end of the game. Like that's the ultimate goal. You're actually in service to Satan. It's a plot twist.
Service to who?
Oh, actually, Nick, Playtonic has just revealed the name of the latest ghostwriter, and it looks like that is Feedee. FEE-DEE, and it is the purplish pink ghost writer that you has the gaping wide mouth, very sensual, and you have to throw something called frostberries inside Feedee's mouth, and you have to throw 3 of them into his mouth, and then placates him, and you can collect them. Feedee. Yes. Oh! Let's go back to Rextro with this news. So, Rextro...
Wait, that's all the ghostwriters?
No, that's the only names we know of. There's still the other ones, but we don't know their names.
So they have time to change them. Okay, good.
There's 5 weeks to go. They can come up with something better than Evadie.
Come on, guys.
Come on. All right. So, because Norm is pretty clever for just the basic do-nothing ghostwriter. I like that name. And at least
maybe Evadie was a piss-take name. They do like those.
Yeah. But, I mean, at least Heidi is an actual name. You know, Norm is an actual name. Granted, now I want to name my eventual child Evadie just to give some sort of semblance of logic to this one.
Maybe its name is Eva, so it's Eva D.
No. That doesn't work at all.
It does not work.
Just no.
I should be in a bag in the desert.
You should be. We should make that a Patreon tier.
Kill Nick.
Kill Nick. We'll do it. We'll do it. Name your price, people. And Nick. Obviously, we have to consult you on this.
I don't want Carla to go bankrupt, so don't do that.
What, does Carla want you dead?
I think so.
It makes sense. We all want you
it's good
dead.
to have one person out there to want you dead, or you're not living life right.
I know. I mean, you need the full life experience. So you need to have some people who love you, and you need to have some people who want you dead. It's the
Too much love, you get a big head. Too much death, you get no head. But in between, that's perfect. So what about Rextro, Engage?
Rextro 64. I'm just going to call him Rextro from here on out. Rextro. So we already knew a little bit about how his arcade games worked. What we knew was that you collected a certain number of play coins, which are, I believe, those coins with the Playtonic logo on them.
Okay.
And then each world has a different Rextro arcade machine in it. So you eventually collect enough coins for each arcade machine, and I think.
So as much as they make fun of it, they're kind of borrowing from Nuts and Bolts a little bit with Klungo's thing.
A little bit, yeah.
And Captain Quark from the Ratchet and Clank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all incestuous. These
great film.
Platformers. It was robbed by Moonlight, man.
Yeah. What if it was like the Moonlight guys come up there like, thank you. I just want to thank. You know what? No, this is wrong. Ratchet and Clank 1. They hold up the card.
Get up here, yeah. And then the people who made Ratchet Clank are sitting at home in their like underwear, and they like, it cuts to them, and they're like they start running to Los Angeles or wherever they are to So from there, if you beat Rextro's high score in a world, you then unlock that game on the menu screen of Yooka-Laylee, and you can play with your friends. And
cool.
So that's where the multiplayer aspect, I believe, is unlocked.
There's no
So
other
that's what-
multiplayer mode in the game?
I don't think so. I don't think there's like a 2-player team or contest or anything like
No
that.
GoldenEye style game where you're holding Laylee as a gun?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I'm sure a musical Shy Guy, listener of the show, and editor supreme at Yooka-Laylee Wiki could set me straight on it, whether they've announced that or not. Because they've done a lot of press for this game as of late. And I'm trying to remain spoiler-free, so it's kind of hard to know what to pay attention to and what to ignore. So I'm only paying attention to what what Playtonic officially announces at this point, because I feel like I can trust and I'm supposed to see what they release, but anything that's kind of put out by other outlets like Game Explain, I'm staying away from, just because I want to have as virginal a Yooka-Laylee experience as possible at this point in time.
Yeah, I think most of the fan base shouldn't have a hard time with that.
Cameron, DK Vine staffer Cameron, lamented that it's kind of frustrating working on a site like DK Vine and trying to remain spoiler-free for Yooka-Laylee. So, yeah, we have this problem all the time. We had the problem with Tropical Freeze when it came out, which was the last huge game in our fandom to come out. And
you just see all of it ahead of time.
Yeah, so you kind of have to go in a self-imposed bubble, which is hard when you have a forum to moderate. Thankfully, we have Iron Fist now, so he can take care of that, and I can ignore those parts of the forum.
I mean, what is this new Super Mario Brothers for the Wii? Self-imposed bubbles.
Yeah, Mario he's in his coastal elite bubble. He has no idea about the Heartland anymore.
Italian privilege.
Yeah, seriously. So anyway, the Rextro arcade games. We'll talk a bit about them here.
Do you think those will be actually fun? Like, are you excited for those, or do they seem like just an obstacle towards getting a collectible?
I'm not really that excited about them. I'm excited because, honestly, multiplayer games, I'm not excited about the multiplayer aspect at all, because on multiplayer,
because we have no friends.
I've got a wife. I think she counts as a friend.
Oh, come now. No, literally, right now.
Yeah, I just married her to get a green card.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really that jazzed about competitive multiplayer, honestly.
What about the arcade games as themselves, Rextro as a feature?
They kind of remind, because they're all homemade. We wondered when this was first announced whether they were actually going to license legitimate arcade games of yore, or they were going to do recreations of let's say Pong, but with Yooka-Laylee elements. But it looks like they're all homemade, and they all seem to be kind of, while they versions and iterations of the particular games have, no doubt appeared in other games in the past, they're all essentially crafted by Playtonic themselves.
Yeah, and they seem awesome. The thing with mini games I always think is, I don't know, you paid for and you're in for the 3D platforming experience, then all of a sudden you have to learn this new play style, and if you happen to suck at a specific kind of mini game, you're just not going to get that collectible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They remind me a bit of the mini games found in Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, things like Mr. Vile, and
some of those were so tough
Dome.
that it's I'll get this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping they're not as difficult here, but they're all crafted by Playtonic in that vein. And when you unlock the multiplayer versions, your friends can play as different colored versions of Yooka and Laylee. So
no, I expected the arcade games to be kind of pixelated and retro looking, but they don't look like they are.
No, they essentially look like they would be right at home in Yooka-Laylee, which, whatever. This was never the main draw of the game for me. The fact that this committed to it, though, is kind of cool. And I like that there's different color versions of Yooka-Laylee in the multiplayer versions, because it does remind me of the 2-player contest from the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, which was brought up in the phone call last time in our call-sack episode, where somebody asked what was our canon justification for that, and I said it's non-canon, which I'm sure horrified the people listening.
So it's not that character from DKC2?
No.
Okay.
It should be also. We're going to be mentioning this character here in just a few minutes, but you can also get a Playtonic, a play space tonic from Vendy the vending machine if you beat 3 of Rexstro's high scores. And we're going to be discussing Vendy here in a bit. All the ins and outs of Vendy, the fucking horror show of a designed character in Yooka-Laylee.
Anything with big lips just scares you. Looks like Gypsy from MST3K had sex with what character does she look? She looks like something like the wardrobe and Beauty of the Beast, and Gypsy had sex.
And then had the DNA of Rosie the Riveter injected into her.
Rosie the Rivet? Oh, the actual. I thought you meant Rosie the robot at first. I was like, oh.
No.
Yeah. No.
So let's talk a little bit about Inept, or maybe not. So you'll remember Inept from the toy box.
Yeah, you mean that guy who's definitely named Inept?
Yeah. So it caused a lot of controversy when at the time, not a lot of controversy, some controversy in DK Vine's sectors about, oh my god, Playtonic is bashing Rare. Oh no.
Yeah, I'd say it caused definite controversy.
Okay, I was trying to downplay the bad times, the dark times, but
controversy isn't always bad. It means that means we're relevant.
Yeah. So we were wondering at the time, because we knew there were drones of this particular robot type that appeared in Hivory Towers, and kind of the new iteration of the Gruntlings from Banjo-Kazooie, the drones who run around the overworld and attack you. Well, we know that Inept's drone race, and at one point in time they seemed to all be called Inepts, but this recently came out from Playtonic on their Twitter that they're actually called Corporate Security.
And Corporate are those little blue guys or purple guys,
right?
I'm colorblind.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So the question is Inept from the toy box a singular iteration of those drones?
This almost complicates it more.
Yeah. So is it like a Crunch situation where Crunch is a critter?
Now that we know they're called Corporate Security, he might have just been saying, I am Inept.
He might have been, but I also like the idea that they can have individual names. So,
sure, yeah. I mean, in our headcanon, he's Inept till the end of time, until we hear otherwise. But that did, I don't know. It was kind of interesting that they're bashing that.
We know from previously released videos that they were called Inept at one point in time.
Oh, okay. So maybe maybe some of our whining actually got something done. That's weird.
It's probably why they put a goldfish in the game, Nick. Let's be honest.
Possibly. Still don't believe it's Royst until I hear that name.
All right. Yeah, you're a man of science, and I'm a man of faith.
I want it to be Royston, though. This is me saying, don't just put a goldfish in. Give it a name. Tell us it's Royst.
No. If they can't legally say it's Royston, just keep it on the DL, Just downplay it a bit.
Name him Roy, and then have a sign outside his house that says Roy's Den. We'll be happy.
So what else? Oh, yeah, let's get back to Vendy. All right, so Vendy...
Do we have to?
Yeah, this as I said, a fucking horror show of a character design. So it would be one thing if Vendy was just a vending machine with large googly eyes on top,
That'd be fine.
That would be the standard, the style. But Vendy, no. They decided to put a little bit more effort into Vendy to horrifying effect. So
Vendy looks like a McDonald's toy I had one time.
Yeah, it does remind me of something from my childhood that I can't quite put my finger on it.
Some shitty Happy Meals toy that you found in some other kid's basement covered in dog feces and throw up.
You're a bit younger than I am, Nick, so I don't know if you remember these, but McDonald's used to have a reoccurring Happy Meal toy called Changeables.
I was right about to say, she's a changeable. I had one that looked just like her.
Okay.
It was like a sandwich dude with roller skates.
Yeah. They were they were basically McDonald's answers to Transformers.
Yeah, they were just food products.
You could transform McDonald's food products into robots.
Diabetes. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe Vendy reminds me of a changeable, but she's a yellow vending machine that says tonics on the bottom, and she's got feet with blue shoes with little bows on them. She's got the Rosie the Riveter kind of headgear. And
not to be insensitive, but perhaps she's going through chemotherapy or something.
Perhaps.
It's a possibility. I don't know her backstory.
We don't know what powers this vending machine. Maybe she is powered by radiation, and that just naturally
could be. She kind of looks like a fridge, and you nuke a fridge. So, I don't know.
But where she's horrifying is she has eyes set in
I know looking at her causes cancer. That I know. That I do.
Yeah. I'm feeling just tumors on my eyes growing. So she's got these eyes with long, luscious lashes and eyebrows. No nose, but
the no nose might be one of the scariest parts.
It's I don't even know if this is Uncanny Valley or if it's just
this is canny.
The valley descends so low you're in one of the circles of hell.
Yeah. This is Uncanny Dante's Inferno.
So she's got luscious lips. The most luscious lips I've ever seen. You're right. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Gypsy from Mystery Science Theater, but at least Gypsy had a more organic design than
Sure,
Vendy.
She was a vacuum cleaner. Gypsy was meant to suck. This just sucks. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. It's
terrifying.
Fine.
I mean, we've talked about Vendy on the show before, but I don't think I saw Vendy at that point in time. And
yeah, I thought it was a guy first, but now it makes sense. Vendy. But
I was picturing a robot from Futurama. You remember the vending machine robot from Futurama?
Oh yeah.
I
have a feeling that the scariness of it, though, someone at Playtonic, whoever designed this one, could have. We probably know who, given who's the one that does the more grotesque characters, the DKC3 guy.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
It's Stevenson.
Yeah, Stevenson. He probably did it, but I don't know. But someone probably designed it. They all gathered around, looked at it, and were like, "Oh God, that's hideous!" And they're like, "We're keeping it." I'm sure they know how hideous it is.
I think Mark Stevenson might. If Mark Stevenson did design it, he's just leaning in on him inducing nightmares at this point.
It looks like the Dairy Queen. Wasn't the Dairy Queen mascot just a pair of lips for a while? That were
I don't know.
sucking
Nintendo
on a straw.
Nintendo had a pair of lips during the Game Boy Color era.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, there's a pair of lips, and it would come out and it would say "Get into it," and I assume that was a blowjob reference. It was enticing the children, luring them off the playground.
Her lips look like two flaps of fat, like a flappity flappity flap.
What makes it extra horrifying, though, is she has teeth protruding from underneath her top lip. So if they lost any one of these elements, if they killed the eyelashes, if they made the lips less than they are, if they got rid of the teeth, anything would contribute to making it less frightening. But the total package...
Yeah.
It
looks like it would be animatronic if you met it, like at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. Could be maybe they're trying to get the kids who are into Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah,
possibly. The eyelashes look. It looks like it has Furby eyes.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit about a Furby. Yeah,
I don't know how many other things we could compare this to.
It looks like the Black Plague. It looks like the Holocaust. It
looks like an avocado fucked its mom, or whatever the Deadpool stupid scene was where they kept doing comparisons.
Serbian genocide. I don't know. So
it looks worse than Serbian genocide.
Yeah, I think this might be the worst thing in the world. Yeah. But I like the idea of the character though, because Vendy serves as the
don't get me wrong. I'd
game.
fuck Vendy. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, you've got standards, Nick, but
everything's the same with the lights out.
I don't know if this would be the same with Eliza. It's still a
All it
vending
needs a
machine.
warm hole and no complaints.
I don't know how warm this hole would be, Nick.
Oh man, when I get the game and I see Vendy for the first time, I'm just gonna think of the fact that I admitted publicly I would fuck Vendy.
Well, here's my pitch to Playtonic. So I already pitched having Glitter Glaze Glacier be a gay bar that you could franchise out. But forget that. That's a terrible idea. This
Too far.
is much better.
Yeah.
Vendy Fleshlight. Think about it. Think about the money you would make. Honestly, that should have been a Kickstarter reward.
Oh my god. She looks like a living fleshlight.
She looks like a blowjob fleshlight. Yeah, let's not
it's just
mince words here.
The gleam on the lips. Oh.
It looks like she's got a little glitter glaze on those lips, if you know what I mean.
Oh man.
Right.
Got Platonic. When we get those Platonic guys on again someday, we're gonna ask them about Vendy.
So, oh my.
First question.
Vendy is the Cheeto of the game. So you complete different tasks in Yooka-Laylee, and that unlocks a different game-altering play space tonic.
Huh.
So you drink these, and it gives you... It's kind of like a mix between Cheeto Pages and Cranky's Potions from Donkey Kong 64. Apparently, you can only use one at a time, though. So
They're temporary, right? Or no?
I think they might be permanent so long as you want to use it. But
they're like minor buffs, right?
Yeah, they augment things in different ways. Yeah,
or cosmetic changes, right?
Yeah, or cheats.
There's one to make you look N64 quality, right?
Yeah, one that makes you more like low polygonal, kind
That's
of
pretty
like
cool.
Rextro. There is one, though, that you get by getting every pagey in the game, and it's just listed as pants.
Oh, shit. Oh, wait, no, it's probably just trouser related.
Is it? Or
I don't want it to
get to wear Mr. Pants' iconic Y-fronts. Or
do they have the
similar.
rights?
Everybody has rights to Y-front underpants, Nick.
No, police, the SWAT team broke into my house and stole all mine.
On Yooka and Laylee's home, the Batship Crazy, they actually do have stacks of Y-fronts.
Red?
So there are. I believe it's green. So,
okay.
But they look.
So it could be a
just the same.
slight reference.
What's that?
Could be a slight reference. Could be an Ice Key situation. Maybe they put on green ones.
Well, here's the thing. We know Mr. Pants makes more than just red underpants. That was established in It's Mr. Pants. All different colors of the same underpants.
That is true.
It's like a Rolling Stones song, He's a Rainbow.
That is definitely a reference.
That is a reference to a song from Their Satanic Majesty's Request, which I thought you would appreciate, currently being possessed.
I don't appreciate it, but
I do. Mick Jagger has lips like Vendy.
And Vendy lets you consume altering substances like Keith Richards.
Got them lips like Vendy.
Oh, God. So anyway, let's take some calls about Yooka-Laylee and Sea of Thieves, and then that will segue us into the Sea of Thieves stuff we can legally discuss.
All right.
Call the first.
G'day, lads. Scrap 69 here. How's it cracking, eh? Oh, bloody brilliant. Yeah, I'll be honest. It's been a while since I've called on the bloody Kongversation. Bloody hell. Well, I heard you lads to talk about Yooka-Laylee and that bloody Sea of Thieves. But, lads, first things is first. Hey, Hyle. Hey, Hyle. Hey, say something, Hyle.
Something?
I'm looking at the water, Hyle.
Oh,
Shut up! Ha ha, yeah. Yeah, I got you good. Anyway, I want us to talk about Yooka-Laylee and, this argument's been raised quite a few times recently, and that is how Playtonic is using, Yooka-Laylee as a platform to, make parallels with the game, and it's bloody outrageous, I think that platform where they're comparing Yooka-Laylee to the capitalism, where Yooka-Laylee represents Obama and Biden, and the batshit crazy represents the White House, and they try and tap Capital B's ivory towers. It's fucking outrageous. It's fucking terrible, those bloody cunts. Fucking Playtonic, what are you doing trying to represent the American election? Trying to do that before the events that happened? It's crazy, I'll be honest. And fucking Dr. Quack is Mike Pence. Bloody twat. And they're trying to get Dr. Paz as the Clinton representative, but clearly hardly anyone knows what Dr. Paz is, so wait, did I make this political? Oh, bloody. I'm fucking outraged at me now. You bloody cunt, Scraps. Bloody twat. Go fuck yourself, Scraps. Fuck you. Fuck you, bloody twat. Fuck it up. I'll give you blood diamonds with me cock.
Thanks.
That was Scraps.
I will say that did make me want to see Mike Pence start his own puzzle game called It's Mr. Pence!
Oh, yeah, except instead of dancing about in scantily clad briefs, he would be fully dressed.
I love you because you're the opposite sex!
No, he would have to put the crayon snake back in them pants.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't be allowed to be roaming in that puzzle game.
Mother!
We've got another call. Let's take that really quick. I don't think it's related to this call in any way.
Probably not.
So let's hear what Call the Second has to say.
Good day, lads. This is Scrap 69 again, calling about Yooka-Laylee and Sea of Thieves. This is my second call, so if this is playing first, fucking shut this shit off. Anyway, I wanted to let you lads know that one of us won the fight. That one, he won. That lad. So, yeah. Did I mention that Yooka-Laylee reputations of Obama and Biden tapping the phone of Cap B at his ivory towers, which is a reputation of Trump and Trump Towers? Yeah, pretty clever. Bloody David Wyatt. Bet you enjoyed the because I'll give him a good set. Let me blood diamond hard. David Wise. You're so wide, mate. Yeah. Do you guys like Donkey Kong?
Scraps 69, everybody.
I do appreciate the poor phone quality because it actually censored him for us, so we don't have to.
I know, right? Is Scraps the trucker in this scenario?
He might be, but I may need to re-explain it so that we can understand how.
Why don't we take this third call, which is in no way related to the first two?
Oh, for crying out.
Well, I mean, I fingers crossed. I think this could be from somebody else entirely. Maybe this is from David Wise, and we can cleanse the palate from whatever twisted fantasy Scraps was presenting for us in that last call. So let's hear what David Wise has to say.
Good day, lads. Scraps 69 here. I'm calling about Yooka-Laylee and Sea of Thieves again. This is my third call, so if you start this call first, then fuck that call. Fuck that call. And if this is my second call, then you fuck that call too. So you start from the first. Anyway, I was talking about David Wise, and I thought he was a wise man, but I just also wanted to say I'd also give him a Sticker Bright Symphony, if you know what I mean. Yeah, baby. I Alright, so back to Yooka-Laylee and Sea of Thieves. So, Obama is Link, Hillary Clinton is Zelda, and Donald Trump is Calamity Ganon. And Link is Wiretap, Calamity Ganon. And, yeah. Wait, isn't his name capital B? What kind of game is this? Oi, where the... I don't even know anymore. Gotta stop drinking the rum. Why is the rum always gone?
Okay, so we have a fourth call.
Can I go get something to drink or something? I can't stand
It's a requirement at this point. No, I hear the kids today. What they're doing is they're licking hand sanitizer. So
I hear they're licking Switch cartridges.
Yeah. So what I would do is I would dip your Switch cartridges into some hand sanitizer, and then just suck on a few of those, and I'm sure you'll feel right as rain and be ready for this fourth call. So just suck on those hand sanitized cartridges. Do it, Nick. I don't have any Switch cartridges because I don't have a Switch yet. So let me. What do I have here? Okay. I will stick this Virtual Boy cartridge in my mouth, which apparently these taste a lot better than Switch cartridges. So I will do that, but I think I'll use some mesquite barbecue sauce here. So
watch out! Those cartridges make you go blind, Hyle.
Yeah. It's fine. I don't need to see to do this show. All right. Oh, Tellero Boxer. Oh, goes down smooth.
Good day, lads. Scrap 69 here. This is my fourth call regarding Yooka-Laylee and Sea of Thieves. So, if this is the first call, then stop this call. And if it's the third call, you stop that. And the second one, stop that too. So you have to start from the first one. But so I was thinking about it in my drunken spirit. And actually, Trump would be Link and Obama would be Calamity Ganon. Because I think Ganon looks a bit more like Obama. And maybe Zelda's Audrey Hepburn. Anyway, the thing is, I've used these four calls more as a segue about Sea of Thieves to say there's going to be fighting, there's going to be drinking, and there's going to be player stories and different versions of events. But there's going to be one more thing about Sea of Thieves that gets me excited, and that's the music and the singing. And in that case, let's talk about a drunken Hyle. Well, what do you do? Oh, fuck. What do you do with a drunken Hyle? What do you do with a drunken Hyle? What do you do with a drunken Hyle? Early in the morning, when up she rises, when up she rises, when up she rises, early in the morning. Put him in the bed with someone's mother, put him in the bed with someone's mother, put him in the bed with someone's mother, early in the morning. When up she rises, when up she rises, when up she rises, early in the morning. Shave Hyle's belly with a rusty razor, shave Hyle's belly with a rusty razor, shave Hyle's belly with a rusty razor, early in the morning. When up she rises, when up she rises, when up she rises, early in the morning. That's what you do with a drunken Hyle. That's what you do with a drunken Hyle. That's what you do with a drunken Hyle early in the morning. Bloody oath, lads. Sea of Thieves is gonna be fucking brilliant. I'll see you bloody sails. I can't even finish the sentence. I'll see you lads in the open seas.
Guess he's a big Dishonored fan. Did you know that game, which I love, used that song very recently in their game? I wonder why they chose to use the same song.
Yeah. It's same melody as Chris Alcock's penned lyrics of "We Shall Sail Together" from Sea of Thieves.
Well, it's like a famous sea shanty type.
Well, I know, but yeah, everybody's trying to get in the pirate game these days, which is good to see. I'm glad. It could have been back a decade ago when the Pirates of the Caribbean movies were really hot, and it's not just the fifth one coming out to utter indifference. So I'm glad to see that there's some vitality to people liking pirates. And now, I've never shaved my belly with a rusty razor, but I would be open to it, especially with the cost of cartridge razors, which is just outrageous. So if it means I get to save some money without having to resort to going to the Dollar Shave Club or whatever.
I like to have Vendi shave my belly with her teeth.
Just chomp it off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she gets to my belly button, she makes a little suction cup around it with those lips. And sticks her tongue out.
Oh, okay. No, you can leave
some
of this.
Then
to
the
your
trucker, he sticks his fist. Okay.
Wow, the deepest, darkest thought processes of Nick Prol are just coming out on full display tonight.
Oh, this ain't nothing. Usually there's 3 truckers. 2 Vendis.
You're like one of those people who have such like peculiar, specific sexual fantasies that you can never get off in actuality, because like the people who are sexually like aroused by like storybook giants or something. Like
you don't know how many hookers I've gotten into the hotel room and I'm like, all right, I'm not a picky man, just do what Vendi does. And they look at me with this blank face. I'm like, do what Vendi does! And I point my gun at them and I beat them over the head with it. But,
Yeah.
It's hard being a white man with specific fetishes.
I know. And why do people realize that we white, cisgendered males have it just as hard as anybody else?
If not more hard.
If not more hard. I mean, we are sexually aroused by horrific vending machines, and how are we supposed to sexually gratify ourselves?
Well, I will say beating the hooker did give her pretty fat lips, so she did look like Vendi in the end.
Jesus Christ. Let's take a non-Scrap 69 related phone call. Yeah, okay, this is going to be a pleasant palate cleanser after the whole beating the hooker with a gun thing. Unless it's the hooker that's calling it, and then we're in trouble.
Listen, Stephanie, I paid the medical bills.
That's Trump care. That's the new healthcare plan. If you beat a hooker, you have to pay for their medical bills.
Me and the ShamWow guy are loving it.
Hello there, DK Vine peoples. This is Malik calling in to give my 2 cents on this week's conversation. So, Yooka-Laylee, it's coming out very soon and we're all very excited, but the question is, what are you guys most excited for / about from what we've seen, and without going into spoiler territory? Be it a certain mechanic, level, mode, or what have you. What specifically has you absolutely giddy with excitement? One big thing for me is the soundtrack. I can't wait to hear how the talents of 3 rare composers come together in that thing. Whether it meshes well or not, the quality of each song is going to be undeniably amazing, and with such variety, too. Oh, and I guess my question also applies to Sea of Thieves, even though you and Chad have played that extensively. And anywho, that's all I got for you guys this week. Keep up the great work, and I will call again next time. See ya.
Hey, it's Malik.
Now that's
Thanks
a palate cleanser.
Malik. Yeah. Seriously, you've got naughty and nice right there. So, what are we most excited about for Yooka-Laylee? Well, we just got asked this question on the last episode, the call sack episode, but I guess we can come up with a different answer because we're looking forward to more than one thing with Yooka-Laylee. So besides what we gave as our answer last time, what we're looking forward to most about Yooka-Laylee. Okay. Well, you brought up the soundtrack for Yooka-Laylee. I did just get an 8-track sampler of the Yooka-Laylee soundtrack from the official magazine, or this magazine is called PlayStation Official Magazine UK. So I guess that's the name, but it's the UK PlayStation magazine, and we get it imported over here.
Of all the places to get DKU stuff ahead of time.
I know, it felt weird buying it, let's be honest. But yeah, it's an 8-track CD, and it's got about...
It's an 8-track?
8-song CD, and it's got 5 Grant Kirkhope songs and 3 David Wise songs. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I got to listen to this. So what's interesting, though...
it sucks. I'm just kidding.
No, it's funny because I don't really have context for most of these tracks. And without the context, without actually having played the game, none of these tracks have any resonance with me yet. And I realized that both Kirkhope and Beanland and Wise...
Which sound like made-up names, by the way.
All the other Rare composers, they're so effective at crafting their music to fit the atmosphere of the environment that without actually experiencing the game and hearing it, I have no emotional attachment to any of these tracks yet. So it's not to say any of these tracks are bad. They're all great. In fact, the David Wise tracks sound like they could have been from Tropical Freeze. So I am actually holding off listening to this now because I want to wait till I actually get the game, and I think I'm getting a CD with all of my back rewards, or at least the digital soundtrack. There's so many that they offer that I forget what I'm actually getting.
Yeah, you wouldn't know if they didn't end up giving you one.
Yeah. So they could honestly just send me a T-shirt, and I was like, oh, I thought there's could be more, but whatever. So I'm looking forward to actually revisiting those after I played the game, and I realized that is kind of the genius of the Rare composers, past and present. It's they do such a good job at making naturalistic music that sounds like it fits in the world and the game environment itself, that without it, it's really lacking so much of the emotional punch.
It does stand. Most of them do stand alone well, but that's usually after you've played the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like hearing them before the game, hearing them so much before the game, I've got no attachment to
It's like hearing a movie soundtrack. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, where you hear it afterwards and it's evocative of that movie and the feeling
imagery
you feel when you watch that movie. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, and what am I looking forward to the most about Yooka-Laylee? Well, I mean, besides just playing the game, I'm
looking forward to Vendy.
Well, expanding outward from Bendy a little bit, because please God, let's expand outward from Bendy. But I'm actually looking forward to meeting all of the miscellaneous characters,
like Vendy,
or unlike Vendy. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to, because it's clear that Playtonic is putting a lot of thought and love
into Vendy.
All of the ancillary minor characters, even more so than they did with the Banjo games, because there is this self-awareness now. They know how much people like us obsess over their characters. And I think we already know a character from Playtonic's first game is going to be the basis for their second game.
Yeah, Vendy.
It's interesting that Rextro, in his trailer for all of his arcade games, says that he says that maybe he'll do the crowdfunded project next. And some people are taking that as a hint that maybe their next game will be based around Rextro.
That'd be weird.
I doubt it. I think it was just a joke.
They're making a Croc sequel?
No.
He looks kind of like Croc.
He looks like a recoil.
Yeah, he
Donkey
does.
Country 3,
that too.
That's the Mark Stevenson pedigree. But I haven't thought about Croc in a long time, Nick. All of these 3D platformers that kind of fell by the wayside. It's funny. I Am Gibbon on the DK Vine forum just brought up an old Sega game.
Mr. Nuts.
Or Mr. Nuts, yeah. Or maybe it was multi-platform, but it was at least out for the Genesis. And he talked about how much it resembled Conquer in a lot of ways, superficial ways. And I realized how many failed platform mascots there were over
There are a
the
lot of
years.
them, and it's not that the gameplay probably wasn't bad. Probably wasn't bad in all of them, but it's just Rare's stuck just because they had a certain self-aware, charm, I guess.
Well, people go on about how much. Some people go on about how much they hate the designs of Rare characters in comparison to, say, Nintendo's designs or Sega's designs. But
why can't we love them all?
I would disagree. I would say they have a different design. It's more rooted in Western animation. But I would make the case for them that their characters actually do hold up after all these years. People still remember Banjo and Kazooie and Conker, and they don't remember Mr. Nuts
or Vex
or Croc so much. Yeah, or all
Scalar.
Of the other, even things like Gex. Yeah, haven't really stuck around. Boogerman certainly hasn't.
Cool Spot.
And Ratchet and Clank somehow had a movie based on it. I don't know how.
I prefer Rough Trigger.
Anyway, we could go on like this, but yeah, there are very few platforming mascots.
Tack
that really...
and the Power of Juju.
Are you just looking these up on Wikipedia?
No, I'm just remembering them.
Okay. Good Lord. Because I remember them when you say them, but you mentioning them now is the first time I've thought about them in years.
I'd say Voodoo Vince, but that one's fucking great and coming out with an HD remake soon, so. But,
it's honestly surprising that Spyro stuck around to the point it did.
Yeah,
although,
Skylanders.
I mean, but besides Skylanders, people remember there's so many attempts at bringing back Spyro, and he kind of stuck with Skylanders, even though Skylanders doesn't really have much to do
I never
with Spyro.
liked the Spyro games quite as much as the Crash games. Gibbons mentioning Earthworm Jim in the chat. Yeah, we're talking about forgotten mascots. Earthworm Jim is amazing. Except for the third
remember
one.
Earthworm Jim more than they do some of these, though.
Yeah.
And I would argue it's still kind of you have to be a 90s kid to remember it, but
or Doug TenNapel fan. Yeah, Earthworm Jim's great. What other ones?
So anyway, this is a long way. Bugsy, yeah. Bugsy.
B-U-B.
This is a long... Yeah, Bubsy.
Yeah.
You're right.
Get it right. Jesus Christ.
There was a platforming game with the 7-Up mascot.
Yeah, Cool Spot.
Cool Spot, yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned that one.
Wasn't there... did you?
Yeah.
Okay, you were mentioning so many. Wasn't there one with the Noid from Domino's Pizza?
Probably, yeah. What about Mort the Chicken?
I don't remember that one.
What about Arrow the Acrobat?
You are looking on Wikipedia
No, I
now.
swear to God, I'm not. I swear to Log.
Oh, my God.
I'm just thinking
Swear to
of
Log, yeah.
I played a lot of I was a platformer guy. Rayman's my favorite.
Too. Rayman has stuck around.
Him and Sly Cooper, they're the kings, motherfucker.
So there are very few that have stuck around, but to be fair, all of Rare's main characters are still remembered. Okay, you can stop now. I mean, at least it's better than talking about Vendy, but
I went to Starbucks the other day. They're all out of tall, so I ordered a Vendy.
Holy shit.
Suicide in joke form.
Anyway. So they're all out of tall, so you went straight to Venti and you didn't go with a grande?
No, I just wanted them lips, son.
Okay. I just wanted them lips, son. Could be our third bumper sticker.
DKVine.com. We just wanted them lips, son.
Anyway. So I'm looking forward in Yooka-Laylee. This was a tangent. I'm looking forward to Yooka-Laylee, Malik, to meeting all of the minor characters, which, granted, Rare's minor characters don't have the popular
but they're the best,
recognition that their main ones have. But that's where DK Vine fills.
I'm looking forward to finding whatever the new sand deal is of Yooka-Laylee, honestly.
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot. I have a feeling. I mean, everything has an anthropomorphic quality in Yooka-Laylee, even the wooden signs. So
even things that shouldn't because of the eyeball enemies.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Sea of Thieves. I'm just looking forward to fucking playing with the crew because the most fun thing about Sea of Thieves is playing with other people and forming a bond with them, because you do form a bond with them playing it at Rare and at E3. What immediately strikes you about the game is it's cooperative multiplayer at its finest. So, you're just... It's important to play it with the right people, I feel like. But even if you play with people you've never played it before with, you will strike up a friendship with them.
So you're saying it's good to play together?
Yeah.
Huh.
It is. What about you, Nick? Besides Vendy...
And I kid, of course, Vendy. Call me.
Kid, yeah.
Call me, Vendy. Call me. But, yeah, for Yooka-Laylee, I'm looking forward to finding those unsung characters that strike a chord with me and make me... laugh just thinking about them, that Rare always seems to make. Yeah, and just playing it. And for Sea of Thieves, I just want to... I guess what everyone's experiencing right now and loving with Breath of the Wild, I want to feel that in a pirate setting. So,
just the exploration?
Yeah, but with a rare flair to it.
Yeah, because this is Rare's most open world game ever. So the fact that you can explore Rare's...
they should coin that term.
Yeah, I was stuck on rhymezone.com there for a minute. The fact that you can explore Rare's essentially shared universe,
Explore the share of Rare.
They're keeping it under wraps, as far as character connections. Like, besides the Black Eye snafu at E3 2015, we haven't seen anything about Black Eye since. But he's coming. He's in there. And Rare, if he's not, you're gonna fix that shit, right? You're gonna put him in the game, right? Rare, right? You're gonna put Captain Black Eye in the Sea of Thieves, right? He's gotta be there. He's gotta be. He's a pirate, and it's a pirate game. You're gonna do it for me, right?
Hey, you lot. I don't know if you heard the conversation over the weekend, but that lad Hyle's going on about wanting a black guy in the new game. So I think we already have one, so we're good.
You can be the pirate you want to be. They come in all different skin tones. We've only seen the pirates that Rare staff has created, and I think they're loosely based on Rare staff.
Huh.
So, they're the ones that players can use at say E3, and every public demonstration of the game they've shown, you can use those pirates, those stock characters. Our favorite, at least as far as Chad and I are concerned, is the very fat one named Sprinty John.
Hey, she's big boned, Hyle. Oh, you mean
Sprinty John is a male?
Oh, okay, I forgot. It's okay to call men fat. I forgot.
Yeah. Seriously, we have to take some abuse for a while, Nick. As white men, we have to just grin.
Reparations,
and then when we become the minority, which will happen in a few decades,
then we can be obnoxious and over-exaggerated about it.
I
kid.
Why did I do the green giant?
Is that what he says?
Oh, green giant. No.
Now he had a good platformer that got forgotten.
Did he?
No.
I would believe it. Anyway. Sprinty John is a terrific character, and even though you can create, I assume you can create your own pirate character. They haven't really been upfront about.
Oh, I bet you can.
But their mantra is be the pirate you want to be. So I'm assuming that means but
there are some pirate characters that are like solid characters, right? Like designs that aren't just randomly generated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't know much about NPCs in the game, but we know they do exist. But they want the stars of the game to be the player-created pirates. So,
my character is going to be an NPC.
Yeah, what if you want to be an NPC, Rare?
No, mine will be. It's a Nick Prol character.
So anyway, I got it. I was going to blow past that, and then I was like, wait, he did something funny there. I better back up. Anyway, NPCs are going to be... So even if Captain Black Eye is in the game, it's not going to be like Captain Black Eye is the star of the game. He's going to have a minor role, probably similar to his Banjo-Tooie appearance, I would imagine. I don't know.
I want to see him lose his treasure to a bear.
I know, or at least that bear the front of the ship, because you have the different designs that are loose.
Yeah, he probably just trips over that and drops his treasure in the ocean. That's what he was talking about.
Yeah, not as glamorous as Downfall as he
was drunk.
He spun in the bar. He was drunk on that ginger beer.
So
let's talk a little bit about Sea of Thieves proper and the recent news from the game. We don't have as much as we have about Yooka-Laylee, because obviously things are still kind of hush-hush.
Yeah, but I did find it surprising they're removing all minorities from the game. It's a weird move.
It's Trump's America. What are you going to do?
It's leaking into the games.
Making the Seven Seas great again. No, Sea of Thieves seems to be very racially diverse, which is a good thing.
A little too much.
Racially diverse and gender diverse. We don't know if you can be transgendered in the game, but is that
would that be the first game to ever do that?
I don't know. Nick, I don't know much about anything that is in the Donkey Kong universe at this point. So yeah, you're asking the wrong guy.
When you see gender neutral bathrooms, you just don't know why there's not a monkey on the picture.
Playing Sea of Thieves at Rare and E3, there were no bathrooms at all, and this is something I hope they rectify.
Well, that's fair. That's fucking over both genders. That's fair.
Captain Black Eye in the game, and I need it explained to me where my pirate poops and pees.
Oh, Captain Brown Eye over here. It had to be done.
He was originally called Captain Brown Eye. You do know that, right?
Oh, no way. I forgot about that. That's fucked up.
Yeah, they changed to Black Eye because I think they realized there's no way we're getting away with this one.
Wow.
All right, so let's get into the news. So even though there's this wall behind the technical alpha, Rare is showing off some things that are happening in technical alpha via YouTube and social media. So they did a couple videos. Some of them are inside stories, INN hyphen side, basically like the inns or the taverns in the game where you can visit.
Those are pretty cool.
And they have developers and people on the Sea of Thieves team chatting about the game. And then you've got just YouTube updates about what's happening in the technical alphas. So in the most recent technical alpha update, they introduced the skeletons or skellies, according to Adam Park, at least, from off of Rare.
They better be called that.
He claims they're called skellies, and that's what I'm going with.
I like it.
Now, I don't know if it's skellies with spelled Skellies.
It hasn't been written anywhere?
Or with a Y at the end. Or maybe it's like SKEL hyphen E. Skel E. It has not been written anywhere. They're just referred to as skeletons in print so far. So maybe Adam Park is just blowing this out of his ass. Adam, call me if I'm wrong.
Get a jacket if you're wet.
Skellies. So they were teased from the very first E3 2015 trailer.
They're like the first enemy we see.
Yeah.
Well, only, I guess. Still.
They played a big part in the 2016 cinematic trailer, and at E3 2016 they also had the Skelly Lord as one of the statues.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, so
I love the ones with jewels for eyes, or do they all have that?
Some of them have jewels for eyes, at least in the cinematic trailer. But the skellies we see in this YouTube video for the technical alpha, they seem to be nude. Which maybe these were nudist islands.
Possibly.
At one time.
Or their clothes rotted off.
Be the pirate you want to be. If I want to hang dong and Sea of Thieves, Rare should let me, because they're not holding true to their word. Because my pirate hangs dong, Nick.
He bangs bone.
My days of working retail, I should bring this up. I worked retail for a couple years, and the horrifying thing about working retail that people who never work retail don't realize is that
you have to work retail.
Well, you're standing still in public, and so if you stand still in public and you're not constantly moving, that means the dregs of society will eventually come face to face with you. And you would get notorious regulars after a while. There was this one old man who would come into the store, and we called him Bonefinger. Literally because he had...
Bonefinger.
We sang the song. I wrote lyrics for it. I'm not a musician, but I can write some lyrics. So he had a bone finger. Literally, he had a finger that was stripped of all flesh, muscle tissue. We don't know how it was physically possible, but we swear to God, he had a fucking bone finger.
Was there muscles on it?
No.
How is it?
From all appearance,
how would the joints stay together?
We don't know. We never figured it out.
Wow. Did you ever Google, like, is bone finger possible? And then, you, of course, ignore all the porn sites that come up and then find an answer?
We saw a lot of truckers doing some pretty
Yo, you down to bone finger?
Our fourth bumper sticker.
DK Vine. You down to bone finger?
To this day, I eventually Bonefinger just disappeared, so we imagined he eventually succumbed to gangrene or whatever the fuck was going on, but he had a fucking Bonefinger, so it is possible. We just don't know how it's scientifically possible. Or
you know, Warren Beatty was in the news recently. My favorite film of his was Bonefinger, I think.
Warren Beatty?
Yeah, Beatty, whatever.
You say Beatty, I say Beatty.
He's got Beatty little eyes, that's all I know.
I mean, he's so vain, he probably thinks this podcast is about him.
Yeah, he's got vein on his bone finger.
So please, if any of you ever lived in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia and you ever met a man with a bone finger, call the Kongversation at 1281410KONG and explain to me.
Yes. Also
who
explain
this guy was.
Why I thought Warren Beatty was in Bowfinger. He was in Bulworth, I think. My bad. Get those two movies mixed up.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even touch upon that. I just thought you were going to make another Moonlight joke.
No, what's Moonlight?
Anyway, so the Skellies, Nick, apparently in the technical alpha, they rise out of the ground on the various islands you can traverse, and they attack pirate crews by fucking shooting them with guns.
Rated M for mature.
So what? Not shooting them with their dongs or their bone.
No, but I mean,
shooting
guns usually equals an M game, right?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Depends how cartoony it is. I mean, Donkey Kong,
sure.
if he shot you, it was going to hurt.
Good point.
And that game was rated E for everyone.
Good point.
They said a bad word in that game.
I know.
Nick.
They said Bonefinger.
Yeah. Chunky Kong's
one bone finger of a guy.
Medical condition. So anyway, you seem to be getting stuck tonight, Nick. You got stuck on Vendy for about 20 minutes, and now you're stuck on Bonefinger.
It's called thematic brilliance.
You're operating on just a whole nother plateau from where I'm at.
I can see all the pieces, and you only see the board.
That should have been a tagline in a Mario Party game.
All right, I'll move on.
All right. So anyway, yeah, they shoot you with guns, which raises all sorts of questions. Because in the E3 2015 trailer, they just attack you with swords, I believe.
Yeah.
Which makes sense if, these skeletons are buried underneath the ground, underneath the sand.
Wouldn't the
of
sand
these
clog
islands.
up the works of the musket?
You would think. I can't. I'm not a gun guy. I believe in the Second Amendment, but I'm not a Second Amendment remedy sort of fellow. So I'm not a gun aficionado, so I don't know what type of gun these skellies are holding. But you would think, yeah, that being buried with these guns, or at least being dead so long that the earth reclaims you, would eventually mess with the firing mechanisms of their guns. But whatever necromancy was involved in bringing these skeletons back, or maybe bringing
I think once you have
Bonefinger
living
back,
skeletons, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, all things are off the table. It is kind of scarier, though. It's one thing if skellies attack you with swords, which I imagine in the final game there's going to be a variety.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe maybe there is multiple skellies, and I'm just seeing in this trailer, them holding the gun. But it seems scarier to me that skeletons can shoot you.
Yeah, long
versus
distance.
just lunging at you. Yeah, it's like zombies.
If they had guns,
aren't really
that
much
would,
of a
that would
threat.
suck.
Yeah, how come there aren't like zombie movies where zombies can just use AK-47s?
There probably is. I'm just not thinking.
I'm sure there's way too many to keep track of, and I fucking hate zombies anyway. It's funny. One of the first things I ever talked about with Greg Mails when I met him a couple years ago now was how much we hate zombies in games.
Yeah, in games, sure. There's some good zombie movies if you know the right ones.
The thing is, it's a form of movie. I guess it's its own kind of genre at this point, but it hasn't really evolved too far beyond like Night of the Living Dead.
I like movies that have zombies
Dead.
in them, but aren't defined by the zombie genre tropes. Like have you seen Cemetery Man?
I know of Cemetery Man, but
that's really good. And then there's Dead Alive, the Peter Jackson movie.
Yeah,
that's a good zombie movie.
Yeah, Christopher Lee looked dead alive in the Hobbit trilogy.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he died way too young.
I liked him, though. He sounded like me when he did metal music.
I thought when your demon said he liked him, I thought he meant he like consumed his soul after he died.
No, Christopher Lee is in heaven.
That kind of disappoints me because I would love if Christopher Lee was like sitting side by side with Satan in hell, like they shared a throne.
No. He's BFF with JC.
Jay-Z?
JC.
Oh, I'm sorry.
John Coltrane.
All right. Anyway, circling the drain here on the conversation. So moving on, in one of the inside stories, Shelley and Andrew Preston, married in life, married in game design, discussed how...
Is that something you have to say every time you say their names?
It could be like a white stripe situation. People think they're brother and sister. No, they're married.
Oh, they're literally married.
They're literally married.
But you have to...
They're husband and wife.
Is that like their catchphrase? Married in game design, married in life?
I'm offering it to them as their catchphrase.
For a mere sum of $250.
Yeah. I've already registered as a trademark, so you're going to have to go through me and my lawyers, but...
Have your people call my people. So what they say in the inside story?
They discussed something called the voyage system. So a lot of people have been asking, how is Sea of Thieves going to be structured? Is there going to be a plot? Is it just going to be aimlessly wandering about?
It's like the main question on all our lips. Okay, I won't go there.
Well, there's something called the voyage system. And I don't know if this is just for the technical alpha or if it's for going to be in the final game. But apparently you can, as I understand it, you take on voyages, you take on quests and embark on certain objectives within, and then you can complete voyages. So let's say, I don't know exactly how this works, but you would say, oh, we need to visit this island for a particular reason. Maybe an NPC gives you a quest, or maybe you find a treasure map somewhere, and then you're on a voyage, and then...
Are all the quests on a voyage interconnected? Like, voyages are themed, like the voyage of the severed hand will take you to this place, and this place, and all the quests will involve some severed hand or something, or is it different?
I don't know. I mean, that's pretty spot on, though, as far as the nomenclature, because they are called, like, the voyage of the blank.
Yeah, the Dawn Treader.
Yeah. So I think I imagine it would be like a Grand Theft Auto mission where, unless it's timed for a particular reason, you could like do other things while in the middle.
Or like an MMO, like a zone in an MMO.
Like any MMO, yeah. So that's interesting that we are getting some semblance of structure.
Yeah, finally. That's what I'm excited for.
a lot of people were worried that it was just going to be an empty.
Nah,
sandbox kind of
I don't think
where-
they're that stupid.
They're not. No. I think just because we haven't seen much in the way of it doesn't mean it's not going to be there. And this is our first.
Yeah. Show the
taste of
gameplay
what's to
first,
come.
story later.
Yeah. So finally, there's a new kind of region in the game. This was explained by Mike Chapman and Ryan Stevenson in an inside story as well. So up until this point, we've only seen kind of one sort of island in Sea of Thieves, and it's the very traditional kind
Tropical.
of Caribbean tropical island, bright, sunny, full of lush green foliage. Well, they've introduced a new island type, and there are going to be different regions in the game world. And in this region that they've shown off, the second that they've shown off, the islands appear to be sick and polluted. The skies seem to be perpetually overcast. Everything has this kind of sinister atmosphere. And it seems like the vegetation on the island is dying just a little bit.
That sounds like me and Mitch's Son of Saberman pitch we did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was like
Care to elaborate?
everything was polluted in the Rare Archipelago, and you, as the Son of Saberman, had to go around as sort of Pokemon Snap meets Beyond Good and Evil. You had a camera, and you were like the son that your father was not proud of because you're a pacifist, not a hunter, and you have to actually save your father and prove to him your worth by taking pictures of all the endangered species, which are all different.
Endangered because Saberman hunted them
Well,
all.
that, and now because of the pollution that's going on up from this toxic chemical factory run sort of by a capital B kind of guy before we knew about that. You take pictures of the different drones from throughout the DKU, and it sounds similar. But yeah, this sounds awesome. I'm happy to see a different theme than just the classic pirate theme.
Yeah. Now, they say it's kind of polluted, like coated in sulfur. So what I'm wondering, though, is this is ostensibly pre-industrial revolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is before there would be much in the way of pollutants.
Yeah.
So Ryan Stevenson in this inside story mentions that while you're exploring islands, you might find clues towards things like ancient civilizations, which sounds cool, but then kind of the blood drained out of my face because the fear set in that there's going to be some sort of twist or implication, which Nintendo loves to do this. That you're in this game environment, but turns out it's post-apocalyptic in some sort of form or fashion. Yeah, Wind Waker or Splatoon or, stuff like that. And
Arms. Turns out it was legs the whole time. They were legs.
Fist.
Yeah.
It's going to be the DK Vine Heroes of Kazam-esque ripoff of Arms.
Man, you and Fist, you're really getting stuck tonight, man.
You're the one who keeps bringing up fist and vending machines. You just got to reach in there and get that bag of chips.
Chips? Oh no. I get it.
I know. Eric Estrada. I'm picturing fisting him in those tight little.
Dude, can't wait
Top
for the
shorts.
Chips remake movie, dude. Looks so funny.
No, because it's not going to have the original cast. It's not going to be a continuation of the original Chips.
Dude, ruined my Chips childhood.
Look, if I'm arguing this fiercely for Playtonic's universe to be the same as the Rare shared universe, you're damn straight I'm going to be upset that Chips is rebooting.
It's just so like Hollywood. When they see money, they go and take a dip out of Chips.
They double dip the chip.
Yeah.
That's even worse. So anyway, I'm kind of worried now that there's going to be some sort of twist, and Sea of Thieves takes place in the far future, post-apocalypse and climate change. Spoiler alert: Sea of Thieves takes place in 2019 after the GOP victory in the midterm elections.
Bonefinger. He's some old guy with a finger made of bone. Hyle worked at a place. He would come in sometimes and show his finger made of bone. I forget the rest of the song.
This has been a File 2 production.
Que rico.